I rarely get to say good morning, everyone, from Del Mar. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Saturday Racing as we wind down the meet in Southern California. I'm Kurt Hoover along with Tom Quigley. And Tom, we have got a really nice card, picture perfect weather. And yeah, it's 10:30 in the morning. Not too often, except for Breeders' Cup days, do we have this type of post time.
No lights at Del Mar, last post 4:32, so we got to start an hour early to accommodate 11 races, highlighted, of course, by the Grade 1 Hollywood Derby. Chad Brown's in town. Johnny V is in town to ride. So a lot of activity going on here where the turf meets the surf.
Yeah, some really good races, Tom. Let's dive right into the opener. We got a good field here going on the grass, mile on the turf, starter optional claimer. How do you see this one?
Kurt, you know, if you just peruse casually the past performances for race number 1, I think one thing that stands out is you won't see a lot of runners in here that have a lot of early speed. Most of them do not. Because of that, I'm leaning toward runners that do have early speed, and specifically, number 1, Sakura Flavor, taking the blinkers off for trainer Patty Gallagher, is going to be my top selection in the race. The reason is taking a bit of a subtle drop down in class, plus last time out actually dueled going 1.25 miles. We know that this horse is fit. I should say this mare is fit. Now that she's cutting back to a flat mile, Umberto Rispoli decides to stick around. I know that she's only 1 for 15 lifetime, and that one win was on the synthetic surface. But I think with the dearth of early speed in race number 1, Sakura Flavor is going to be in a good spot, because I do believe the pace setter in my second selection is going to be number 7, Miyako. First time in the George Papadroma barn, shipping in from the Midwest. One time Miyako tried 2 turns, and it was actually a good effort. I'm not sure she wants to go this far, because that's the only time she did go 2 turns, but I do believe she's going to be setting the pace. 1-7 for me in race 1, Kurt.
You and I picked the same 11-to-1 shot to kick off the card, Tom. I went for the 1, Sakura Flavor also. Blinkers come off. The thing I like about the 1 and then my second pick, the 2, to me, they're taking big class drops.
Correct.
They're dropping out of the open allowance race into the starter race. That is a big drop. So I'm 1-2 in the opener, and hope we get that price on Sakura Flavor. Second race, Tom, there's not much this one. I can't see past the 2 favorites. If you can, you're a better man than I.
I can't, and here's the reason why. There's only 2 runners in the race that have run a Beyer speed figure of at least 70 or greater, and they are the 2 morning line favorites, number 3, What's the Buzz, and number 6, Majestic Palisades. We were talking about a little bit of class relief in race number 1. That's the case for number 6, Majestic Palisades, in race number 2. She ran into non-winners of 3 races lifetime last time out. Now she's down into non-winners of 2 lifetime. She ran 1 over her condition last time out. It's the first time in the Lee Baraccio barn as well. That most recent workout on November 24th out of the gate seems to have been a good one, according to some of the local clockers. Not much creativity in this second race, Kurt. 6-3 for me.
6-3 for me too, Tom. Third race, good racer going 1 mile on the turf. Our late friend Jeff Siegel, you and I both knew for many, many years. I absolutely believe Jeff made it longer because he wanted to see this horse run. He passed away shortly after this horse's debut. His sister and his estate now own the horse along with Eric Sondheimer. So I'm rooting for Surfing USA, and the horse puts on the blinkers.
And Jeff Siegel, a lifelong UCLA Bruin fan, he passed away on the afternoon that UCLA spanked Penn State in the Rose Bowl. So you hope that Jeff was able to see that moral victory for the Bruins, because he definitely bled blue. He was a big UCLA Bruin fan.
Lived and died UCLA basketball. In fact, I said if Jeff was still healthy, he would have been at that game
100%.
that day. The only time he missed the racetrack was to go to UCLA games, right?
Either football or basketball.
That's it. Otherwise, he was at the racetrack. A good friend of ours. We miss him. Rest in peace, Jeff.
This is a really good betting race, as you mentioned, Kurt. A lot of different ways you can go. A good field of 12 with the scratch of number 12, Will Phil. I'm going to look inside, Kurt, to number 1, Channel Place. You'll remember this race. This was a sprint race way back in August of 2025, her one and only career effort. That winner was that Richie Baltus runner that went gate to wire very impressively. She drew an outside post that day. I just like the way she's been managed up to this point. Doug O'Neill thinks he has a quality filly here. He's now stretching out 2 turns. He switches over to one of his go-to guys, Antonio Fresu. That race also proved to be live. There's been 4 next out winners out of that race that Channel Plays exit. I'll put her on top. I also like Lilo Little a little bit, just simply because she's been running back at Kentucky Downs in Keeneland. The dam actually, this is her first foal, but Michael McCarthy did train the dam for the owner as well. Drew an outside post last time. I'm willing to draw a little bit of a line through that. Still a good third. 1-4 for me in a difficult third race, Kurt.
Real tough race. I picked Surfing USA. She's a real little filly, but she impressed me as a horse who wants to go further. I think she'll get a good trip. She puts blinkers on. And a price horse, I thought the 11 Soul Sister ran better than Lux. She didn't break at all. She finished nice. She galloped out in front. I think she'll run better too, and she is a price. 5-11 for me in race 3. On to the 4th race, maiden claimers at 6 furlongs. One of my best bets of the day is in here, but you're the guest, Tom. You go first.
Oh, boy, I want to hear who it is, because I struggled with this race, Kurt. Typically, bottom-level maidens are not necessarily my strength. But having said that, I'm going to kind of chalk out here. I like number 6, Grinnell. Beaten favorite last 2 times out, but has never run this low before. Actually, the winner of Grinnell's last race was a maiden 40 claimer dropper. So that race, I think, was better than a typical maiden 30. Not much conviction. I do like Grinnell on top. I also like Uncle Evko. Last time out, ran against a horse who absolutely freaked for George Papadromo, finishing a distant second. But that was the best last race by our speed figure in the field, going route to sprint for trainer Hector Palmer. Interestingly enough, Hector does better going route to sprint than sprint to route. So even though Uncle Evko was fitting that condition last time, I do like the cut back in distance. 6-1 for me, but you have a strong conviction here.
I got a different way to go for you, Tom.
Okay.
Seattle Surf is gone on the lead. This horse is going to make the lead. He's faster than these horses. I thought he ran well in his last couple of starts. Claimed by Jesus Aranga, another solid barn. 2 works out of the race, and Tom, I just think he clears and is gone. I wish it was 5.5.
Of course.
6 is a little bit of a stretch, but it's a stretch for all these horses. One of my better plays of the day. I like Seattle Surf to wire him in race number 4. On to race 5. Okay, it's stakes time, Tom. The Seabiscuit Handicap Grade 2 event on the turf. The 1-horse Scooby Can Do is out. How do you see this one?
3 stake races on today's card. As you mentioned, this is the very first one. I think Almendaris is a really nice equine. He's just a cut below grade 1 caliber, but boy, does he fire big. He's one of the 3 highweights in here. This is a traditional handicap race. 3 runners are carrying 123 pounds.
Not many of those left in America, Tom.
You probably can count them on one hand.
Exactly.
But Almendaris, if you go back and look, 2 back, lost to Formidable Man. No disgrace in doing that. Formidable Man came back for trainer Michael McCarthy and finished 2nd in the Breeders' Cup Mile. Last time out, if you do Formulator, which I know you do, Kurt, you can do the internal fractions. Almendaris came home his final quarter in 21.88. That is absolutely flying. No disgrace losing to Johannes. I'll put Almendaris on top. I also like Cabo Spirit, who was in that same race. I like the fact that the Papadromo team supplemented this horse in for $3,000. He's got early speed last time out. He didn't customarily break perhaps as quickly as he wanted to. I think they're the 2 class animals in the field, Kurt. 3 and 8 for me in the Seabiscuit.
Show you what a good race it is. I went 2 totally different directions, Tom, and I could see any one of 4 or 5 horses winning this race.
You're going to go back to your old standby, aren't you, El Potente?
Second. I'm going to Sumter on top. I was so impressed visually by Sumter's win last time. Now, he is an in-and-outer. He can throw in a bad one. He can throw in a really good one. I just think maybe he's peaking right now. He's run very well in this course, and he's a price with Mike Smith. El Potente, I think, will be favored. The more I look at the race, I think he's going to be favored. His win in the Thunder Road was off the charts, and Tom, I think he would have been favored for the Kilroe if he didn't go to the sidelines. He was going that good at the time. So I'm going to go 2-5. I can see both your horses. I can see a lot of different scenarios here, but 2-5 for selection purposes. All right, it took a while. We get to the pick 6. 6th race tips it off. Maiden special weight for California breds. I thought kind of a tricky way to get things underway.
2-year-old fillies, Kurt, and I actually like the Peter Miller trading number 3 Violet Song. You can see this filly was bred by Glen Hill Farm, so automatically you would think that that's turf breeding, but Marine Layer, the dam of Violet Song, did actually never ran on turf, just had 3 career starts. But I think maybe Violet Song, this is what she wants to do, which is sprint on the main track, particularly if you look at her most recent workout. That was a designated breezing workout. It was a bullet workout that particular morning, right here over the Del Mar main track. She's legged up, of course, because she debuted going 2 turns on the turf course. And Peter Miller does well in this category. He's done it 13 times, meaning 2-year-olds going turf to dirt and also route to sprint. He's done it 13 times the last 5 years. 2 wins for a 15% win percentage. 8 times in the money, 62%. If Violet Song doesn't win, I'm pretty sure she's going to be in the exacta. I also gave a little bit of a look to number 7, Long Range Pursuit. Here's something interesting, Kurt. You remember the sire of Long Range Pursuit, Sistron, from the Jeff Sadler barn. He's had 3 runners so far that he's been the sire of come to the races. All 3 have won on debut.
That's hard to do.
That is very hard to do.
Very
so
hard
this
to
is
do.
his 4th runner to make to the races. I'm not sure he's going to go 4 for 4 because I don't necessarily like the rest of the pedigree of Long Range Pursuit, but I wanted to point out Sistron out to a fast start as a stallion.
That's an interesting stat for sure for a horse who probably is not getting blue blood mares,
absolutely.
right? Which makes it even more impressive. I'm going to go to the outside horse. I don't know who Tate Batts is, but I like the horse. The dam retired a maiden, but she's been a really good broodmare. She's had 3 winners make the races. This is a half to Don't Fight the Fed, a horse I really like. The horse went wrong a couple months ago and was vanned off. It was a very nice horse. She made $200,000. I love the outside draw. Reportedly from the workout reports, the horse has got speed. So Tate Batts on top for me. And I thought the 5, a great shaking, ran pretty well in her debut. She ran a good second. Kimura takes over. Final Table Lady, who was third, came back to win. So let's go 8-5 to kick off the pick 6. All right, back to stakes action at Jimmy Durante. Grade 3 for the 2-year-olds. How do you sort this one out, Tom?
Really difficult race, only because I don't think there's necessarily a standout in the race. But I can tell you this, historically, Chad Brown has done well in the Jimmy Durante. The last 4 years that it's been run, he's won with 2 of them. And I do think Just Aloof is probably the right filly to play in the race. She broke her maiden on debut. She's a daughter of Justify. Now Chad ships her all the way back, I should say all the way out here to the West Coast. Hector Barrios has never ridden for Chad Brown. You would imagine him and his agent are pretty excited about this mount. I expect a big effort from number 4, Just Aloof. And Kurt, I've talked a lot about number 3, Bourbon and Ginger. I'm going to give her one more chance only because Richard Mandela brings her back so quickly. 13 days, first time around 2 turns. Last time out, I know Richard didn't want to be on the lead. That's actually where he found this filly. She was outclassed by Rivera and Hamika that particular afternoon. I'm going to trust Richard Mandela's instincts here, bringing her back quickly. 20-1 on the morning line. Complete the exactor. Try 4-3 for me in the Jimmy Durante.
I like Just Aloof a lot, Tom. I like the same horse. I watched her race a couple of times. Man, was she impressive. And here's the thing, and I respect the buyer numbers immensely, Tom, but I've seen it over the years with 2-year-olds on the grass. The numbers just don't jive sometimes. I know that she got a low number, but if you watch the race, she was super game. There's been a next out winner out of the race already. She actually galloped out by 3-4 lengths in front. I think she's going to run giant. I really like Just Aloof. For a second horse, I thought the 8-horse Yours Sincerely. I wrote inside trip, a little bit uncomfortable down inside. She galloped out nice. I think she'll fire big too, but I do like the 4, Just Aloof, in today's Jimmy Durante. 4-8 for me. On to the 8th race. This begins the final pick 4. California bred maidens in this one.
We are in Brian Coroner's play box in race number 8, Kurt. The reason why I say that is he trains number 7, Joker Went Wild. And one thing of many things that Brian excels in is with maiden second-time starters. Here's the statistic courtesy of DRF Formulator. With 2-year-olds on the main track making their second career start in sprint races, obviously, which is exactly the categories that Joker Went Wild fits in race number 8. He has won with 4 of 11 starters over the last 5 years. That's a 36% win clip. 9 of 11 in the money, an 82% win clip. Good outside box, I should say. 7-2 on the morning line. I'll put Joker Went Wild on top. And it's a bit of a guess, but I do like number 6, Parnelli Jones, simply because the dam won her debut by 14 lengths at Arlington Park. Now, she's had 4 foals. None of them have won. 1 finished second, but I just think that maybe Parnell Jones, from a very good trainer who does also well with first-time starters, Mark Glatt, could maybe fire as well. 7-6 for me in a good 8th race.
It is a good race. Something I said earlier, I don't know who Tate Batts is, but I know who Parnelli Jones. If you're an auto racing fan, Parnelli Jones is the man.
Correct.
Right? He's AJ Foyt, Parnelli sponsor, Jones. Yeah. That's auto racing. And I looked up that same thing. The damn 14-length debut winner. So I picked that horse just strictly on a guess. For second, I think Low Tox is going to run better. I guarantee you one thing. This horse has got speed. After watching a debut, he didn't break. He made a big mid-race move. Blinkers come off. He has got gas, and I think 5.5 is a good distance for him. So I'm going to go 6-2 in race number 8.
And a rare Calbred that's sired by Vacoma. So
yeah, right.
They're big expectations.
On to the 9th race, the Hollywood Derby Grade 1 event. Boy, this race has got a rich history, Tom. 4 horses who won the Hollywood Derby have won the Kentucky Derby. Obviously, this race was on the dirt way back when, but California Chrome won it. And I was talking with Roger Roman, who gave me that stat earlier today, who works for us here at FanDuel, and we were reminiscing about some of the races. California Chrome, that was his only start on the turf. You know who was second in that race?
I don't.
The Queen's Plate winner, Lexi Liu, and he dusted her. I always thought if California Chrome, if the owners had left Art Sherman alone more, he could have turned out to be a really good turf horse. Point is, Tom, this race has got a rich history, and a lot of really, really good horses have won this race.
Good walk down memory lane. Victor Espinoza in the saddle as well. And like you said, his one and only try on the turf course. What a superstar he was.
Boy, was he a nice horse. And, you know, some of the other winners going way back, just quality horses. And 4 of them won the Derby because this race used to be before the Kentucky Derby. It's been an interesting history of this race, where it's been and how it got to the turf. Glad we still got it, Tom.
You know, I submitted my picks much earlier on, Kurt, for the Hollywood Derby, and I'm going to flip them around a little bit. I actually had number 9, Tom's Magic, as my second choice. I'm actually going to put him on top. Now, I understand if you look at the racing forms, he's a Canadian bred, and he ran in 2 restricted Canadian bred races up at Woodbine his last 2 efforts. But if you look through his past performances, there's a couple things that are pretty apparent. He started out going 2 turns around on the turf course, so they always knew that he was a distance horse. His only poor performance was on a turf course listed as good at Keeneland. If you draw a line through that race, he is super game each and every time. The horse that he came back to beat last time came back to win the Grade 3 Ontario Derby, running a Beyer speed figure of 90.
Ran huge.
And so I think he's been keeping, although it's been restricted company, I think he's been keeping good company. Antonio Frace, who rides the turf course well. Michael Stidham means business when he ships out here. I like Tom's Magic on top. I did originally like Chad Brown's horse on top. Chad, just like the other race I had mentioned in the Hollywood Derby, he's won 4 of the last 7 editions of the Hollywood Derby. So ignore Chad Brown runners in the Hollywood Derby at your own peril. But I just have a feeling Salamis is maybe more of a B string type of horse rather than his A string. I prefer the East Coast horses over the West Coast horses. That would include Test Score, who performed very well last time, adding blinkers. Graham Motion and Juan Hernandez do very well. But I'm going to try and get Tom's Magic home at 7-2 in the Hollywood Derby.
You and I are on the same page with Tom's Magic, Tom, and all the points you made, I agree 100% with. The horse who was next to last in that race came back and aired. I mean, that was a very good race, and I made the same point to my Pick 6 partner. I said, I know they were restricted races, but I think they're better than the usual restricted races. And to your point, the runner-up came back and aired in the Ontario Derby. I think he's been facing good horses. I don't care where it was. So I'm with you on Tom's Magic. I thought Test Score was the horse to beat. I loved his win last time out, 9-3 for me. All right, we got a couple minutes for the late double. Tom, what do we do in the 10th? Big scratch here, and I was disappointed. I was going to take a big-time stand against Manicat Road. The point is moot now because he's out.
Well, I'll make it brief because I was going to take a stand against him as well, so that scratch didn't impact me one bit whatever. In race 10, it's easy to remember. I like number 10, Comedy Town, as my best bet on today's card. First time in the Jeff Mullins barn. This is a 7-time winner, running in a non-winners of one other than, eligible to be acclaimed for $50,000, but is an absolute racehorse. Adds Lasix, which is important because he hasn't been able to use Lasix much since he's been running in a number of stake races down in South Florida and also at Keeneland. I like Comedy Town. I'm not sure we're going to get 5-1 with the scratch of Manicat Road, but nevertheless, Comedy Town, my best bet on today's card.
That's the single to Pick 6 for me, Tom. That's the same thinking as you said. Draws outside. Safi Joseph still owns part of this horse. A left horse here with Jeff Mullins came back and worked right. I'm with you. Going to single Comedy Town, outside draw, and hope for the best. 11th and final. Good luck here. This is a grab bag, Tom. I mean, I thought Lyle the Crocodile was the horse to beat, but he's winless in the U.S. Hiding in Honduras, ran like a horse who needed a California start, and there's a whole bunch of price horses I think you can make case for.
Yeah, I do like Hiding in Honduras. I have him second. He's a 3-year-old lightly raced horse from the Jonathan Thomas barn. Also re-adding Lasix after not being able to use it in the stakes race last time. But I do like number 2, Uncle Happy, who's 12-1 on the morning line. This horse, you can see looking through his running lines, likes the turf course, likes to win races. Last time out showed a bit more early speed, which I like as well. Actually got in a duel with another horse, and take a look at the fractions. Basically 22-45 for the half. Uncle Happy 12-1, way too big of a price on the morning line. I'll put him on top, and also number 11, Hiding in Honduras, to close out an excellent card.
I had to laugh, Tom, because hiding in Honduras cannot be a good thing. If you were hiding in Honduras, you are avoiding people, or you're laying low, or you got a different identity. It just doesn't sound good, right?
But it's a clever name.
But it's a good name. It's a good name. Just doesn't sound like somebody I'd want to be involved in. 4-11 for me in the last. Lyle the Crocodile on top of Hiding in Honduras. Tom, thanks once again. Enjoyed visiting with you throughout the meet. Let's make some money today and close out strong here at Del Mar.
Good luck, Kurt. Happy holidays.
Tom Quigley has been my guest. Thanks to all of you for watching. We'll join you down in the paddock in about 15 minutes.